If you believe that the Browns can win on Sunday against the Dolphins on the road and turn the season around, like today's video because you are in good company here at the Cleveland Browns Report. What's going on, everyone? Welcome into the Cleveland Browns Report by Chat Sports. Matthew Peterson here, getting you all ready for Browns Dolphins this Sunday, coming off the bye. Cleveland's got some fresh legs, and I'm all the way back in, baby. I was halfway out, but after that Bengals beatdown on Monday night, I am all the way back in. So we're going to run through some injury updates and some things to watch for this Sunday against the Dolphins on the road. But let's start things off by looking at the latest injury buzz out there. So Cameron Justice tweeting out that Kevin Stefanski said Denzel Ward and Wyatt Teller are both trending towards playing Sunday. Ward is still in the next step of the concussion protocol. It's still early in the week right now. It's Monday. We're going to monitor this throughout the week for you guys, but that's better than them not practicing, right? These are good steps to be seen early on in the week. Also, on David Njoku from MKC, Njoku with that high ankle sprain he suffered against the Ravens, said of playing Sunday in Miami, that's the plan. Now, David Njoku also sounded somewhat optimistic he could play as soon as 2 weeks ago, pretty much, against the Bengals, or last Monday, whatever. So he's always been pretty ambitious about getting out there. The original time frame was 2 to 5 weeks. It will be 3 weeks this Sunday against Miami. All right, let's get to what to watch for now in this game. First thing I'm watching for is just trying to slow down Tyreek Hill. I'm not going to stand up here and say you have to shut down Tyreek Hill. No, you can't do that. Tyreek Hill is just too good, and he's having way too good of a season to realistically have that be the goal. I mean, look what Tyreek Hill has done so far through 9 games, keep in mind, versus what he did all of last year in Kansas City, where he played all 17 games. He's 150 yards away from passing his entire receiving yards total a year ago, which he played a full season. Now, here's what makes Tyreek Hill so difficult to cover. He has a lot of things that make it difficult. The speed, the quickness, all that stuff right there. But I want to do a quick film breakdown, right? Little X's and O's with you guys here. So let's look at this Dolphins game against the Lions 2 weeks ago. You see Tyreek Hill right there? He's lined up sort of in the slot, right? Now they have him in the backfield, okay? So they move him around on this offense. But they also can put him out wide sometimes as well. So Mike McDaniel does a fantastic job of putting Tyreek Hill in multiple areas of the offense, all over the place, which means it's not all on one corner. It's not just Denzel Ward who will be shadowing Tyreek Hill if he's healthy. No, when Tyreek Hill's in the slot, it's going to be on Greg Newsome, right? When Tyreek Hill is elsewhere, when he's in the backfield, well, then it's going to be a combination of some safety and linebacker coverage, all right? Tyreek Hill, he moves all over the place. So for the Browns, it's going to be very important that they find a way to have good matchups with them, okay? Looking specifically at this cornerback depth chart right now. Denzel Ward, hopefully he can go because they need all the firepower they can get. There's also a guy named Jalen Waddle on this offense. Martin Emerson, I think he's coming off his best game of his career so far. And Greg Newsome, along with the safety room and everyone else on this defense, Joe Woods, he has got to dial up some disguises so that it is not black and white. Here's who's on Tyreek Hill, and Tua can just pick the Browns defense apart. What is your confidence level in this Browns defense, by the way? Scale for me 1 to 10, because, I don't know, 3 weeks ago, before the Ravens game, after the Patriots game, I was at a 1, maybe a 0.5, but the way this defense has rallied the last 2 weeks, and their bye coming at a great time, in my opinion, I'm probably going to balloon up to a 5.2, just north of a 5, but I'm not going to act like this defense is where it's supposed to be right now. All right, next thing I'm watching for, speaking of this defense, is some momentum to be built on that side of the football. This defense has done a lot of great things so far. Well, I say that. This defense has a lot of better things the last 2 weeks, and hopefully they can capitalize on that. But I got to tell you guys first things about our brand new sponsor here at the channel, Established Titles. So today's Browns Report is sponsored by Established Titles. It's a fun and novel way to preserve the natural woodlands while helping global reforestation efforts. It is a project based on a historic Scottish custom where landowners are referred to as lairds or lords and ladies in English. Title packs give you at least 1 square foot of dedicated land with a unique plot number on a private estate in Edelston, Scotland, and an official certificate with a crest. We plant a tree with every order and work with global charities, 1 tree planted and trees for the future to support global reforestation efforts. You can officially include the title Lord or Lady on your credit card, plane tickets, dating profiles, etc. It makes a great last-minute gift. The first 200 people purchasing a title pack using my link will effectively be next to my plot within a few minutes of walking distance. Depending on how many of you become a lord or lady, we can build our own Browns Report kingdom. It makes an amazing last-minute gift. Established Titles is already running a massive early Black Friday sale right now with discounts up to 80% off. Plus, if you use the code CHAT, you get an additional 10% off. Go to establishedtitles.com/chat to get your gifts now and help support the channel. That link in the comments and the description of today's show. All right, getting back to this defense, who would have thought that the Browns defense would have had their best 2 games of the season so far against a former MVP in Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow, who just went to the Super Bowl last year. The 2 toughest tests so far have been the best showing for this Browns defense. In fact, look what the Browns did in Week 8 against the Bengals. 13 points allowed, 2 takeaways, and not from your usual suspects. Not a Clowney or Denzel Ward or Greg Newsome, right? None of the big guns getting after it. No, it's A.J. Green and Taki. 5 sacks and only 6 blitzes. I really want to point out that number. The Browns got to Joe Burrow 5 times, but only dialed up 6 blitzes. That says something about this front 4 finally putting some pressure together. Plus, they only had 36 rushing yards against them. And look what Joe Mixon did just yesterday. But I am looking at these 4 guys specifically. It is on them to get to Tua because the Browns, they can't afford to be sending 6-7 players after Tua and not having enough guys in coverage to keep up with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. The front 4 has to generate enough pressure on their own so that the secondary and the linebackers can focus on coverage and not pass rush. Third thing I am watching for in this game, this offense, it's not broken. I know it feels like at times Kevin Stefanski can be public enemy number 1, and it's super easy to put all the blame on the head coach. But I hear a lot of chatter of the Browns are not using Nick Chubb enough. The Browns, they got to rush the football more. Guys, the Browns rush the football a ton and do a very good job at it. They are 3rd in the NFL in rushing yards per game at 164.6. They're not even 1st in rushing attempts, by the way. They're 4th. So talk about being efficient, right? 4th in rushing attempts while being 3rd in rushing yards per game. And they're 2nd in rushing touchdowns, only behind the Philadelphia Eagles. And Nick Chubb, he's 2nd right now behind Derrick Henry after the bye in rushing yards in the NFL. The guy's 4th in carries. Okay? Kevin Stefanski is doing a very good job with this offense. Does he mismanage things at times? Yes, he does. But if you want to poke holes in him, it's not on the offense. I mean, Jacoby Brissett this season, if you just do the box score and the stat hunting, those look like pretty vanilla numbers. Do they not? 1,800 yards, 7 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Yet this Browns offense under Brissett in these numbers averages 25 points per game. All right? This offense is fine. This offense is doing its job. Does it disappear for a quarter or times? Yeah. But what offense doesn't in the NFL? Outside of the Bills and the Eagles and the Chiefs, all these offenses have struggles at times. And the difference is the Browns are going to get one of those quarterbacks who can compete with the Bills, the Chiefs, and the Eagles in 3 weeks here. All right, first things first, though, Week 10, Browns versus Dolphins. We started this last week, and we picked up a good number of subscribers, guys. We are starting to close in on Dolphins today here at Chat Sports, hosted by Will Scott. We've got some ground to make up, but if you love the Brownies and if you want free Cleveland Browns YouTube content, make sure to subscribe today. Fourth thing that I am watching for, a sense of urgency. You guys know when I do my keys to victory, I don't like the cliches because that can just be applied to all for every game. But the Browns, if they don't have that now, they got to wake up and get it tomorrow. At 3-5, they're not out of it, especially because they have remaining games against the Ravens, against the Bengals, with Deshaun Watson starting those games. So they can make up some ground there, but it will take more than just one game back. I think in the next 3 games, they have to go 2-1. They have to give Deshaun Watson the keys with a 5-6 record at the very least. Here is the remaining schedule for the Browns: Dolphins, Bills, and Bucks before Watson in Week 13. Tell me that after the Bills lost to the Jets yesterday, there's not a better chance of winning. Tell me how the Dolphins letting the Bears put up 30+ doesn't mean the Browns can't do the same, and with a better defense, they don't give up 35, hopefully. The Bucks, they look pedestrian. The Texans suck. The Bengals, just go back to last game. The Ravens game was handed to Baltimore at the end by poor officiating. This one's at home. The Saints suck. The Commanders, I'm nervous about. The Steelers, cheeks. And the remaining schedule's record is 36-39-1. That's the combined record of all those teams right now. Now, Ravens do play the Saints on Monday night, so that will kind of change that record a little bit before that game kicks off as we're filming on Monday. But the remaining schedule, I know it looks daunting, but I'm seeing a path. I'm seeing a path, guys. So final thing to watch for here, number 5, the turnover battle. I hate myself for doing this because I'm a big believer of never ever say the key to victory is turnover battle, especially for the Browns, by the way. The Browns almost have the worst connection of turnovers to wins, right? I mean, the Ravens last year on the road, Lamar Jackson was picked 4 times, and the Browns still lost. So don't feed me this, Browns got to win the turnover battle to win. But with the Dolphins, it's different, all right? Look at the Dolphins' turnover rates through 9 games so far. They are 6-3. They've got a stretch of 3 wins, 3 losses, and 3 wins. Now, those 3 losses were without Tua for 2.5 games. But when you look at those 3 losses, no takeaways. But the turnovers, they stack up. 7 turnovers for the Dolphins. All in those losses right there. 7 turnovers in the losses, 3 in wins. So for Cleveland, clearly Miami struggles when they start coughing up the football. Now, just because the Browns are going to generate takeaways doesn't mean it's a foregone conclusion they are going to win based on how other games have gone this year and kind of the last 2 or 3 seasons for the Browns. But who do you got? Browns or Dolphins? Let me know in the comments who you got this Sunday. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm feeling a Browns win. I usually don't get to this point until Thursday, but I'm here on Monday morning. I was there on Sunday afternoon after, sure, the Dolphins won, but that to me just means they're kind of due for a letdown game, right? They got away with the one in Chicago. There was some horrible officiating in that game. No DPI called where Chase Claypool was clearly mauled, but I'm feeling a Browns win. If you are too, like today's video. I'll see you guys later, and let's go Browns.